kitchen at all. Now, for a hoax even I thought was real at the time, and that was the Sparky the Dog animatronic. Me doing my little bit of digging found this Reddit post which led to this Tumblr blog, which led to a bunch of sources showing the origins of this hoax. Now, a lot of these links were deleted, most likely due to people finding out the screenshots are faked and not wanting backlash from them. Thankfully, they did talk about what was in a lot of these links so we could have an understanding of what was going on. So, there was this user called Bear, who I'll just be referring to as Koala Bear, since that's just easier to say. They were one of the first people that would talk about how there was some sort of broken dog animatronic within the backstage area, posting a YouTube screenshot, 4chan thread,
It would also
and a
probably
chart
make
with someone
Void
named Sparky the
interact
Dog.
more
It seemed, at
with the
least on the
rest of the
creator's
crew.
blog, that Koala was trying to create some sort of horror story or even their own creepypasta of the FNAF game. Obviously, many people are going to get skeptical, thinking Koala was just talking about Bonnie or Golden Freddy,
Ah, shit.
or they were just mistaking them as a dog, until this picture would be posted.
Where's my...
This was undeniable proof that Sparky the dog
What the
existed,
hell? Where
and
did
this can
my...
be taken
my
in a
glove
variety of
go?
ways. He's not very visible, but Sparky the dog was hiding at that door.
What?
After this, people soon began to try to find him in their own playthroughs of the
There
game,
we go.
with some claiming they even got jump scared by him, while others tried to explain he was more of a passive character that doesn't attack the player but instead is simply an Easter egg for the next game. They would even give tips on how to summon Sparky as well, but these
Eh.
posts were all deleted. In the end, it was shown that there's nothing more than just Photoshop. There was a fan recreation of what Sparky the dog would look like, and I kinda like it. It definitely takes inspiration from Chipper and Sons Lumber Co., a game that Scott previously made. So, haha, how do I say this without sounding like a complete idiot? I was around 13 during the original release of the first game, and oh wow, I'm getting old. But during my youth, there was a bunch of these FNAF in real life photos circling around the internet, with the most popular being this Freddy Fazbear pizza place. I'm not
Phantom
saying that I thought this was
Tubus?
a real place, since my brain was obviously just so
What's
young
Phantom
to
Tubus?
ever believe such a thing. But a lot of people thought this was an actual place. It's not though. The first game was certainly popular, but it was still relatively new with an emerging
What's
fan base
Phantom
at that time.
Tubus?
Now, with the second game being released just a few months
Phantom
later, the
Tubus.
theories and hoaxes would begin to ramp up, especially due to the introduction of the new animatronics and this new concept of afternight minigames.
Oh.
Now, the thing with certain
It's
games
not
like
the look I'm
Sparky the
imagining, but
Dog
I can
For
see where
one,
that
this
comes
place is
in.
actually the prequel to the original games. Something no one would have expected, especially with the designs of these new toy animatronics looking much more modern. Let's jump straight into the theories though. The shadow animatronics are, to this day, unexplained as what they really are. Even on the FNAF wiki, it states them as quote, "The shadow animatronics are ghost-like entities with an unknown place of
This time
origins,
we're doing a doodle
whereabouts, and unseen
page.
functions." Shadow Freddy and RWQFSFA Shadow Freddy
Probably
and
gonna do something with...
RWQFSFASXC are the only two reoccurring shadow animatronics from throughout the series. Now, RWQ blah 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 basically is a shadow version of Toy Bonnie, and you might be wondering why its name is that. In the source code, that is actually what it's called, and even, can't believe I'm bringing this up again, FNAF World, its name is the same exact string of letters.
Oops.
Surprisingly, FNAF World, although it isn't canon, still helps people understand this game just a little bit more. Now, Shadow Freddy has the same exact model as Golden Freddy, with the only differences being the colors. There are theories based on these shadow animatronics, based on the books and FNAF AR, due to the concept of remnant and agony. A concept I won't be talking about because my head isn't designed for that level of thinking. I also don't want to bring up theories that happened a long time after the games, since we would end up knowing a lot of new information. This video is simply talking about the theories and hoaxes of each games when they were first released.
So
Now, the
entering
simplest
down the
theory about these
post.
two is very similar to Golden Freddy, in that they were either a hallucination or spirits.
There's
Unlike Golden
so
Freddy,
many of
they
these
can't attack you at
drawings.
all, at least not with a jump scare. All they can do is crash your game if you stare at them for too long. But the way they do it is strange. They don't jump scare you, they don't cause any weird messages to pop up on screen,
This one, I
they
want
don't
this one.
really do anything.
No, crap. If I'm gonna
Shadow
finish that
just
one,
exists.
then I
Unlike
gotta
Golden Freddy,
finish.
Golden Freddy would
You
crash
just sit
games,
in the corner.
but in the second one, he could
Just
only
sit
make us
there.
lose the game by jump scaring
I
us.
wanna draw
People made a
this.
theory that the Shadow animatronics could be workers killed by the animatronics, with them taking the form of those who killed them. So Shadow Freddy died because of either Freddy or Golden Freddy, with Shadow Bonnie dying because of Toy Bonnie. Since they were adult workers, they couldn't fit within the animatronics due to their endoskeletons. It's easier to hide a child's body, not a fully grown adult. So, to cover up what happened in the restaurant, they would bury the body somewhere else near the establishment, resulting in the spirits of the
This
workers
isn't
to stay
faded,
within
right?
the restaurant, unable to do
This
much
is
due to them not being able to
something.
possess any animatronic, just a shadow of their former selves. There was also the theory that Shadow Freddy was the real victim of the bite of 87, but then who's Shadow Bonnie supposed to be? A lot of confusing stuff that doesn't really make sense, yada yada yada. Also, this theory wouldn't really make sense since the purple guy, or William Afton, was murdering children and had no real reason to attack an adult, unless one of those adults was a witness to one of his crimes, then I could actually give a reason, but other than that, I just can't see why William Afton would try to go for an adult. Anyways, the player is a night guard named Jeremy
If
Fitzgerald.
Blackie ever visits.
They don't actually know who the
Blackie?
victim of the bite of 87 was. It was never stated to be a child or an adult, so honestly, it could be anyone. Now, the phone calls we get throughout the night reveal quite a lot of information. On night 1, we found out that the new toy animatronics were designed to have quite a few advanced mechanics, such as facial recognition, advanced mobility to walk around during the day, and they are tied to some sort of criminal database, being able to
He's going
detect
to be logged
predators
in
from
as
a
an
distance.
intrusion.
This sounds like a very good system to invest in, but in the very same phone call, they talk about how there's some issues with them. They try explaining the behaviors of the animatronics, stating that they were programmed to walk only in the daytime, but they weren't really told what to do during the night. So when they're put in a quiet room at night, they actively try to seek out what I'm assuming is the party. Then there's the issue that the animatronics might view us as an endoskeleton without a costume, which is why they might try to stuff us into an animatronic suit. Neat. On night 4, it seems that someone may have tampered with their facial recognition system and have been acting unusual, almost aggressive towards the staff. Although with kids, they act completely fine. I wonder why these animatronics would ever hate adults.
Meaning Hat and Cap
Night 5, there was a day
are
shift
going to
position
try to
that
send him
became
back as soon as they can.
quote-unquote available, hinting someone basically has something bad happen to them. If they were just to quit, there wouldn't be this little pause before they say available. Now, night 6 is where we really need to pay attention. Someone was wearing a suit, a yellow one. I wonder if this is any old Springlock suit that a certain purple man was wearing to run around giving kids a bad day. The animatronics aren't acting right at all. This is the part that's interesting
So
though.
Blackie would have to
Tomorrow,
come
at a birthday party, we are going to have to
at
work
a
a day
time
shift. We
when
need to wear our uniform and
Butler
close off
is
the whole
messing
party.
with
I wonder why
the
the
crew.
animatronics would ever want to attack a Freddy
I
Fazbear's
would keep
birthday
going
wearing a
Blocky.
uniform. Basically, this theory is saying that after night 6, we, the player, Jeremy, go to work at that day shift. Since we were instructed to be close to the animatronics, one of them, we aren't completely sure which one, but one animatronic decided that our frontal lobe was looking like a delicious snack and took a
Which
quick
would
look
lead
at
to
our
an
game.
awkward interaction
If you're wondering about the time of this
since
game,
Void is
after night
likely
6,
joining in
we
with
get this
creating the
pink
mess.
paycheck, which says the date, November 13th, 1987. Bringing us back to our previous Who Did the Bite of 87 theories, the Foxy and Freddy from the first game were both most likely in the parts and service room, since they wouldn't be used at these parties. So that leaves the
How?
person who did the
I
bite
think Kitty
to
is
be one of the newer toy animatronics.
Kitty is
The
a
doodles jump scare alone, they dangle from the roof, somehow, and swoop down to bite your head.
Kitty's
Just
a
maybe nibble on that
trapped.
juicy little frontal lobe that
I think.
some certain worker had. This basically
I
ties
don't
juicy
actually
to
remember.
skin,
I'm gonna have to
but
look
that
at the
doesn't
dog.
necessarily mean that they go hand in hand. You could say Jeremy was the victim of the bite of 87, while saying a different animatronic did it, and the opposite is true as well. You might be saying that this doesn't really make sense. Jeremy works on night 7, so how is he killed on the day shift if he works that same night? Well, if you read the pink slip closely, at the end of night 7, it says, "Note, first day on the job, really?" Showing that for some reason, Jeremy didn't work that night shift, and someone else did. Sorry, Jeremy, but there was another theory that Jeremy was actually the purple guy. Why? I don't know, we had no other leads, so yeah, he was literally the only person we could choose at this point. The purple guy was a mysterious figure within the minigames that we didn't have that much information on. But some people speculated that he worked in a pizzeria due to him having a badge. Don't worry, there are quite a
Oh
few
yes.
updates only about you soon.
Hi. Hi, pomegranate.
Jeremy was working as a night
I
guard.
did. I
He
fixed
wouldn't
it
have
because
access to a lot of
apparently my normal
notifications like you
headphones have
will.
a mic in
He
them.
wouldn't be
They're
that
a little
person to
too
dress up
good
as an
though, so you can
animatronic
hear my
to allow
fan
kids to
and like
try
everybody in
on
my house.
or hide their bodies with
But
their
hey,
suits.
whatever.
This would have also explained
What
why they were acting
is
strange around adults,
what
or even
is
why they were attacking you specifically
um
in your office. But this would be disproven since the
Kitty?
answer
What
to
is
your
Kitty?
theory would be found out. Talking about him
Kitty? Do I have a
quickly, the
screenshot of
person who
Sindri
was the
stuff, or did I
purple
only do
guy
that with?
was the purple guy due to him having his badge,
Don't
which,
even
like
have
I
this
said,
screenshot.
people speculated he worked for the pizzeria,
What is
as well as
this?
having this phone-looking thing in his hand. This theory has a lot of holes though. For example,
No,
the
I
purple guy
think I
dies
only
in the
did it
first game
for
due to one of 5 original
um
animatronics, but we know
Gigi
that the
Lover
purple guy
stuff.
actually dies due to being trapped within the spring-locked suit of Bonnie. Or Spring Bonnie, same thing. Of course, we could have known at the time, but now it's obvious that they can't be the same character. There was
Sindri.
also the Pink Man sprite, which is a different color from the normal purple guy. People thought that this could be his accomplice, or even a whole separate serial killer, potentially being the one who has tampered with the animatronics and
Leave
did the
it.
bidding for him, while the purple guy kills directly. What
What
actually was the
is
case was that this was the same
Sindri's
person, just using a lighter shade of purple for some reason. In the minigame, where you give cakes to Freddy,
design?
you'll notice he's a lighter purple color, more like a lavender. But this is most likely done so he's visible, or else he could be too similar to his purple car and just blend in too much, which would just end up making his scene be very confusing. Okay, I get it. Foxy is one of the most beloved characters, based on my polls at least. But he is not a good guy. This theory says that the Foxy jump scare isn't actually meant to hurt you, but instead it's just him trying to hug you, which is something that isn't true at all. Technically, you could say that none of the animatronics are quote-unquote
Now,
evil,
where
or
is
even
that post
necessarily
from
bad,
Sindri? I need to
since they are
remember
souls of children unalived
how
by the
big
evil-loving sociopaths.
Kitty is. Like, I think.
But they are literally all hunting you down, so I wouldn't qualify any of them to be good either, and that includes Foxy. Now this next theory was actually something that was kind of true. If you didn't realize, Golden Freddy is quite a unique character compared to the other animatronics. Not due to his designs, but just how out of place he felt. So,
No,
you might
where
say there was
is.
actually a whole bunch of these golden animatronics for each of these characters in a place before FNAF 2. A lot of people believe that
Why
since
is
he
it
became the
so
golden
hard?
eye, that meant he was a real suit, and therefore a different
Why is the magic
character.
system last thing I
Of
have
course,
in
I never
lore?
found out about the Springlock suits of Fredbear and Spring Bonnie existing, so
Um,
technically this was true. Just not entirely true. Now, let's talk about the toy animatronics. In the Give Gifts Give Life minigame, we see that the puppet seemingly puts the dead children within the original Chica, Foxy, Freddy, and Bonnie suits, with this resulting in them being forced to possess the animatronics, but it's
What
not
does
set in
kitten
stone
look
yet.
like? I'm
The
struggling.
children's souls are not able to be
Where
put to
is the
rest
description I
due to how
got?
they all died at the hands of the
No, I
monsters.
forgot a whole bunch about that
That
one
once they love
conversation.
them,
I would
they get
love.
what they want, which
Where's the
ultimately
doodle
will make the
ideas?
killer pay for what he
I have a
did.
kitten doodle
So, this
ideas.
basically paints a
I
picture
guess
of all those
recently.
5 or 6 children who were the victims of
No,
the
I
Purple
need
Guy,
this.
including the puppet, as well as Golden Freddy,
Why
who
is that the
disappears with
last
the first
one?
minigame. In total, there are 13 animatronics within this game,
I don't want to
but
search
let's
up
take out the
Rev.
shadow animatronics for now, leaving us with 11 animatronics. Meaning, in this theory, that if the toy animatronics were also possessed, there would have to be a total of at least 11 children, which honestly is a lot of bodies to seemingly hide and get away with. This makes sense due to how the animatronics during the daytime seem to be aggressive against anyone who is an
Nope.
adult, but normal when interacting with children.
I'm just trying to find that
Due to
information
the Purple Guy
page.
tampering with their coding, since it was stated multiple
That's for
times that
searching up
someone
Rev.
was messing with the animatronics a lot for some reason. However, in the Save Them minigame, we play as Withered Freddy and see, presumably, child bodies within a restaurant while we follow the puppet. This is the entire loop
Where
of the minigame,
is my
meaning we can find
reference
out some things. There are a
for
total of
Sindri's
5 bodies
characters?
scattered around in the rooms, with the withered
He has
animatronics
like
in
the
the
same.
closet, but also showing Golden Freddy as well for some reason. If we are assuming that the puppet was already possessed at this point, these 5 children could be
Maybe I should
victims
just
of the withered
search on
animatronics,
Sindri's channel
along
itself.
with
This is not
Golden
working.
Freddy. Although we may be controlling Freddy's movements, that does not necessarily mean that we are possessed at this point yet, since the animatronics were known to just walk
Designs.
around by themselves. In a second theory about the toy animatronics, it basically states that they were never possessed at all, but instead were being controlled by the puppet the whole time. The puppet was known to have more supernatural powers due to them giving life to the animatronics and seemingly being able to convince or control them to do what they want. What do you think though? Were there only 5 or 6 victims at this
Ah,
point, or do you think there was a lot more that we just haven't seen directly? Also, just because I know someone's going to bring this up, in the Foxy Go 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 minigame,
yeah, I'm
there
gonna.
are 5 children shown as well, but it's not really clear if these are 5 new
I'm going
puppets,
to
or
die.
especially
Where
in
in the
case the
hell
5 children were taken away originally.
is my
Anyways,
ass?
let's move on to the hoaxes.
I wish ask was like a thing you could specify in the dang on search menu.
Around late 2014, a
Oops.
YouTube video would show this quote-unquote hidden animatronic that was supposed to be the purple guy. I'm pretty sure this is the original channel that posted this hoax, with a lot of their more popular videos seeming to be either fake jump scares they made, or videos reversed for some reason show some sort of secret message? Now, this was most likely not done to be serious and was probably done as a joke, but some people did believe that this was true. They used the Golden Freddy body, put a badge on his chest, replaced his head with Choi Chica's, and then made him completely purple. It's a pretty unique concept that was fun to explore. However, it wouldn't really make sense since, let's be honest, the purple guy was supposed to be human, so why would he suddenly become an animatronic? It wasn't just the purple guy animatronic either. This channel would also show what would happen if Toy Chica attacked you if she had a beak, and what these shadow animatronics would look like if they were actually in the game. What you need to understand is that with these videos getting thousands of views, a lot of children are going to be watching them, and kids are kind of... well, they're idiots. And if you're a kid watching this video, I'm making fun of myself at the time too, since I believed a lot of these when they first came out. I didn't realize just how many of these videos this channel made to popularize a lot of the more well-known hoaxes from before. There was this FNAF film that apparently was being made, which was shown in this 45-second clip of storage boxes being glued to picture frames to make the FNAF logo on it. I don't know how you did this, but it was pretty believable. Do you remember that gray marionette that was also spreading around, where you would see this face when you get jump scared? Of course, this was a hoax as well. But it is crazy how deep this rabbit hole goes based on just this single channel alone. Shadow
Why
Freddy and
can't I
Shadow
find?
Bonnie are very much real in the
Just
game,
ask. It's like it
but
doesn't
there's
exist
the theory
anymore.
that Shadow Balloon Boy also existed, only
Where
in the video
is?
games though, but ultimately
I'm
was proven false.
dying.
There was also this really weird golden toy Freddy
Why can't
animatronic
I
that was
find
really
this
cute.
reference? Oh
Updates
goodness,
in the
now I
second
really
game
wish I
really
had,
let the
I had,
fandom
I
grow
had,
rapidly, and that's not to say it wasn't already popular due to the first game. Just that with all the theories, game theory, videos on it, many people started to obsess over the series, which is why people wanted more of everything. More games to play, more lore to talk about, and more animatronics to love. So obviously, when people started to make these kinds of hoaxes of fake animatronics, people started to stick to them, which only boosted their popularity even more.
well, we're
Sparky
just
the
gonna
Dog, in my opinion,
at
was the
least
best hoax so
finish off
far,
his head.
due to just how believable it actually was. The others, though, not so much, but they somehow still gained an immense amount of popularity due to people wanting more from the series.
What's getting so dying? I'm
I'll
dying.
be honest, in my opinion, if Scott ended the series FNF 3, it most likely would have been one of the best places for it to finish, since it answers a lot of questions, as well as leaving things in a semi-happy place. The children's souls are set free, Springtrap is revealed to be the killer who was forced to suffer as he should, and in the end, the place gets set ablaze, burning down not only the building, but also all the sins that William Afton has committed. At least, that's what should have happened. When he said, "I always come back," that's not something that should have been taken in a literal sense. William Afton has literally came back time after time after time, and it honestly should be a superpower at this point. He should literally have the word immortality written on him since he just cannot disappear at all. I like this series, trust me. I've been a fan since I was 13. I really love this series. But William should have died and stayed dead within the fire in FNAF 3. It has gone so bad that it has become its own meme, sparking countless posts making fun of this new trope.
Yeah.
But anyways, that being said, Springtrap is honestly my all-time favorite animatronic in the whole series, due to how unsettling he
Ugh.
is. He is literally a
Blue
rotting,
Moon
withered
need a
person
tongue. I
with a
guess. I
pretty
guess he
body
does have a
suit,
tongue, doesn't he?
but with the decaying corpse of a serial killer within his body. You could even see a skull inside of Springtrap's mouth. This design is honestly one of the most well done, with the lore only adding to the creepiness of it all. Of course now, we know exactly how Springtrap looks, but during its very first teaser trailer, no one really knew what this thing was supposed to be. With its greenish yellowish color, people assumed it was an old withered version of either Foxy, Freddy, or Golden Freddy due to
No,
the
that
shape
is
of its
not a
design
young
and its
tongue.
bright look.
Nope.
Within the FNAF 3 teaser, however, we see Springtrap for the first time spazzing out, and his jump scare near the end. People notice his jump scare isn't
What's a
really something the
fucking
monster is
yawn
attacking
tongue?
us, but rather just walking into the room. This resulted in a few theories as well. There was this other teaser which showed all the toy animatronics scrapped with their parts cut from its
Animal
box.
yawning.
Someone made a theory that instead of this new animatronic Springtrap killing us directly, that instead they enter our office to shut off the lights and take
The
one
tongue
piece
like.
within its box. Every time they take a piece of an animatronic, they attempt to rebuild them, which results in a new animatronic coming to get you. This is honestly a pretty cool concept that unfortunately wasn't explored. If there's any people who want to build a fan game based on this design, I highly recommend it. That box that was shown in the office was purely just aesthetic, and didn't really have any gameplay significance at all. Another theory is that since the parts are all broken, he isn't making new animatronics but rather taking parts for himself. For example, taking a leg which would be used to allow him to walk around faster. Springtrap wasn't always what people knew him as. Salvage was actually the first name the community called him due to a theory based on what he was made out of. People thought that he was an animatronic made with the parts of other animatronics due to how withered and broken he looked, as well as people trying to figure out why there was a box of broken parts in the office. Within the trailer, there were words that could be shown on screen, like the infamous, "He always comes back." This theory was true, but people were saying that it was most likely the purple guy coming back, somehow, just not saying
Designs.
how exactly they were going to do that. Some were even saying that this was going to be the return of the phone guy from the first game, but as much as I wish that could happen, he's probably never going to be able to return, sadly. Rest in peace, phone guy. In the Happiest Day
Oh,
minigame, play
maybe
as a child
the
and walk
internet
around
version
seeing
of
as
this
other
would
children
be
wear some
more brain.
masks, none of which belonging to the previously known animatronics. This made people speculate that Scott was going to create a new series based within his universe with a new franchise. Once again, based on the alligator, pig, whatever these two other kids are supposed to be. Possibly, this alligator was foreshadowing security breach due to Monty being okay, that's a joke. There's no way they would have thought that far ahead, but it's pretty funny to think about. There honestly wasn't that many popular theories that were just crazy or disproven that well in the third game. I can't wait to see the comments talking about some crazy theory I never heard about that was disproven that I just completely forgot about for some reason. But yeah, honestly, this third game was pretty simple in its message. The purple guy tried to break apart the animatronics, which led to their spirits haunting him, causing him to run into the spring body suit, presumably the same one he used to murder the children, thinking it's going to be able to scare them off, but it malfunctions, crushing him inside. There's not
I'm gonna
much
find
to
this
get clues about
reference.
other than possible intentions
Why
for
can't
these
I
items,
find it?
but
It's
from what I know
bothering
so
me
far in the
heavily.
series, there wasn't really any concrete leads at this point. Though in the next game, we would have some more information as to why, but this is just going to be based on the game that was presented during this
Why does
time.
it only show
There's this
that
post
one?
that I found that tried to explain why the purple guy did what he did. Basically, to summarize the theory, the purple guy was a guard at a pizzeria who had to hear children constantly screaming over and over again, every single day, while they would continuously come up to him just to annoy him even more, saying he went insane and decided to play whack-a-mole with some kids' heads, going bonk around 5 times.
Designs.
Was it a serious theory? Probably not. Like I said, there weren't that many theories that were popularized based on this game due to it being pretty well laid out. So let's move on to the hoaxes.
No, designs.
There was
Designs.
only two real hoaxes that I could find about this game, and that was the Green Phantom Bonnie animatronic, which I have no idea why this became a thing. It seems like the more the series progressed, the more of the recolored version of the animatronics would show up to try and act like some sort of hidden concept or animatronic that Scott put into the games. The second hoax is a teaser, and one that is honestly a pretty cool concept that I wish Scott could try out, and that was this amusement park called Freddyland. Of course, we now know that FNAF 3 took place in some sort of horror attraction, but the idea that a game would take place in an amusement park is something that would honestly work pretty well with the lore. Not to give people ideas, but amusement parks would be a pretty good place that a fictional character like the purple guy could potentially want as a hunting ground, due to the abundance of
Why
victims
can't I
of horror
find this
mascots
post?
already being popularized within these kinds of parks. Just look at Disneyland with their animatronics. Though these animatronics are usually not able to have guests near them, as they're purely aesthetic. But imagine a Freddyland, where the animatronics walk around, kind of how like the people would dress up like mascots within Disney, being able to talk and sing with guests. But when the lights go out, and all the guests leave, there's one place they start to become attracted to. The security desk, which has a camera system that emits the only light within this dark park. I have no idea what kind of mechanics or design this place would have, but with such an open area, there's so much room for exploration with new concepts
I don't know. We're
never been
just
explored
going.
before. This concept was actually something that interested me quite a bit, so I tried looking for some sort of fan game based on that. But the only really good FNAF fan game that I could find that took place at an amusement park
I'm just
that
getting kitty
interested
paws
me was
because,
this game
yeah.
called Tealerland, which is probably something I'll be talking about in the future. This isn't the end of the series, and trust me, yes, things slowed down in FNAF 3 since there wasn't really many theories and hoaxes around this time, but this was at a point where the series was able to be understood. Things quickly changed with the next few games. This video was really fun to make, going back to research some of the older fan theories, and seeing how much we just really did not know about the series at that point really surprised me. It felt really weird to call Purple Guy instead of William Afton. Yes, there are things we learn in the future, but wow, there's still so many things that we honestly do not know to this day. Like, what are the phantom animatronics? Anyways, if there's something you thought I got wrong, something you disagree with, a theory you hate, or just want to argue in the comments about, feel free to do so. Just don't tag anyone personally. If you like this video, like and subscribe. In the meantime, it was really tiring to finish editing everything, so I'm going to take a nap. Peace.
Hama.
This game is pretty cool the first time you play it, I think. Child labor? If my child labor was playtesting my dad's internationally loved video games, that is child labor that I would have been hella down for. I had much less enjoyable child labor. Weed picking. That was my child labor. Testing my mom's recipes that she thought the kids would love. That
I
was
really would love to know what Kitty looks like. Why can't I find the ass?
So, my mom spent most of her teaching career before smartboards. You know, she didn't like them at all. And so I would go to the school with her to show her how to use it. Because they kept requiring teachers to use them. My grade 8 teacher, he was a cool teacher. I liked him. I think he might have purposely put a hole in our smartboard because we never used it because he broke it. And I think he might have done it on purpose. He said he was like carrying a ladder and bumped it. It was a really small board, but it completely destroyed the smartboard. But now that I think about it, I think he may have done it on purpose. They're not that good. Even somebody, you know, I obviously use plenty of tech. Smartboards kind of fucking suck. Like, the markers would
What am I watching?
be, like, realigned and stuff. They were bad.
Oh, we're watching another stream, apparently. I was like, what the fuck?
A laptop with a projector is far better than a smartboard.
Yeah, no, we don't want to watch somebody else streaming. No.
Today, we're going to be talking about a lot
Let's
of the
go
finance
find.
theories and
Let's
hoaxes
go find something else.
Obviously, I'm not going to be able to find every single one because it would be nearly impossible for me to do that.
Here, something else from Thought Potato. Watched Thought Potato last time.
Imagine a world. Our world. But absent of us. Of humankind. A world
I'm looking on Sindri's stuff because I'm dying.
The thrum of cities. The chatter of voices. Has suddenly gone silent.
Kitten is unexpectedly very thick. I don't know if Kitten's supposed to be.
Architects of the modern world vanish.
I don't even remember what Kitty is.
Forces of nature alone.
Let's make his arm a little thinner, and then make this whole area thinner. Probably an exaggeration of Kitten's size next to Blue Moon, but I mean, come on.
Now compose the symphony of decay.
This looks cool.
How long before our
tiny guy goes into my
disappears? Let's take a walk through time, through the silent age.
Still looking.
As we look upon this world bereft of humans, we find ourselves asking, how long would our creations, our homes, our monuments, our cities, survive in this post-human epoch?
God, I can't find this at all.
Answers to these questions reveal not just the transience of our existence, but also.
I'm going to ask Sindri because I can't find it. I can't find his design post, like, at all.
Witness this profound dance through time.
Oh, we have a
As we
reply.
unveil a world
Probably been sitting there forever.
starkly exposed to the unyielding entropy that nature
We're
inflicts
just
upon
gonna
us
leave this,
reality.
like, half done without a face.
We're poised on the precipice of an intriguing exploration where we unravel the indomitable and the fleeting
Shayak little cannons.
potential future.
What I wanted to do, I wanted to give a little
Chapter.
void a sketchy sketch.
Day 1. Lights around the world flicker and fail as power stations run out of
Cat.
fuel.
Why does Blackie carry around black
Without
cats?
human intervention, domesticated animals start to break out of homes and farms. Week 1. Pets and zoo animals either die due to lack of care, or manage to escape and start fending for
What
themselves.
am I watching?
Most
The ad? Shut up.
Hello and welcome, man. It is good to see you again. Now, as you may have noticed, speculative evolution, speculative zoology, or just spec evo, as I like to call it, is it's been taken off lately, and I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's with a good reason. And it's a unique niche that involves a lot of artwork and scientific conjecture. And the big player right now is, of course, All Tomorrows by C.M. Kozman, but as it turns out, that's just the tip
Hat and cap
of
are
the
practically
iceberg. Now, if you aren't familiar with the concept of an iceberg, it's
panicking.
if there's a topic that can be divided up
While
into different
Gladiator.
categories, it can be an iceberg. So at the top of the iceberg, you have the information that most people know. The middle, which is usually a middle tier or a few, this is the information that some fans would know, somebody who's interested in the topic. And then deep under the water, where most of the iceberg is usually the obscure information reserved only for the hardcore fans. And this iceberg image was obtained from subreddit
Is
called
trying to
Speculative
get
Evolution,
Butler
and a
and
user
Void to
named
stop.
Mr. Jest, who I will link to in the description, made it. So here's the thing. The mysterious world of Spec Evo involves a lot of, as you might have guessed, speculation, and because of that, it often drifts into the realm of world building, as it's called, which is the process of inventing a whole new world from things
Blackie just offers a cat from his
flora, fauna,
cat pouch.
science, culture, everything that might be part of a world that we're just inventing, basically. A lot of times it's used for the process of writing novels, especially like fantasy novels where you're inventing whole systems of like magic and culture, or maybe the world of a video game might apply as well. Most recently, like in the video by Wendigoon called the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, which he didn't make up but he covered, is fascinating little bit of world building. So of course, the idea of making up an entire world is where the Venn diagrams of speculative
They finally notice him.
and world building intersect. And so with that out of the way, let's just jump in to tier 1.
Everyone freezes.
Iceberg, and we begin on a little place called Skull Island.
It's not often they get travelers.
In 2005, when the
Austin, we got Austin from It's Not Often.
There was a book released by Weta Digital.
Often that they get travelers to their universe.
Book, I could not be more impressed with the work that the artist put into these designs. Not only do you get the artwork, but they went to all the trouble of incorporating descriptions, binomial nomenclature, behaviors, and it's like a field guide for these fictional animals. It's amazing. Of course, there have been other Kong movies, I will acknowledge, which include their own form of speculative.
So it's going to be a surprise.
Everything on Skull Island wants you dead, and it wants to be the one that kills you. From the freaky insects to the dinosaurs to the pteranodon, which is from a deleted scene I found on YouTube.
Finally, chaos ensues again as Void.
Very disturbing, as are most scenes, honestly, on Skull Island from that movie.
Wow, why?
Skull Crawlers, which you may have seen in 2017.
In shoes again.
If you
hate
Skull
you.
Island,
In
you're
shoes.
gonna have a bad time.
In shoes.
I saw the Peter Jackson King.
In shoes.
I was much younger, and the
No.
insects in the pit, the worms. If you've seen it, you know the exact one I'm talking about. Disturbed me for life. Anyways, it's still super interesting to think about how all these different species.
Chaos ensues again.
Obviously, if everything wants to kill you.
No, I don't think in
shoes.
shoes.
There's a lot of competition amongst these predators.
Chaos ensues again.
That there is. There's like
there we go. It starts with an E, really?
Carnivores designed to hunt it. Kind of seems like every predator fills a certain niche. In the mud, you have worms. In the swamps, you
When
have the
Void's
pteranodons, I
glitter
mentioned.
cannon
In
goes
trails,
off
you have
again.
theropod dinosaurs, and the forests have all kinds of crap. It's basically like real life, but on steroids. So you can't really get that book that I mentioned by Weta Digital with all the stunning illustrations and information because it's out of print, and unless you want to pay a ton of money on eBay, just check out the wiki, which I will leave a link to in the description. Next, we have what's known as the Fermi paradox, and that is basically this. If the universe is so big and so old, where are all the aliens? Mr. Fermi himself famously asked this question around the year 1950, and it's been known since then as the Fermi paradox, which any sentence that has the word paradox in it is cool, in my opinion. So to answer that question, where are all the aliens? A recent study found that there's only about a 50% chance that any aliens are out there, and so as a result, there's a 50% chance that we're completely
Wizard
alone.
deciding
But honestly, who the heck knows?
to grab
Now,
Blackie
not to
and
get too far
drag
into the
him
weeds here, but the Fermi paradox is heavily
to
associated with
safety.
what's known as the Drake equation, which uses a product of 7 factors to estimate the number of extraterrestrial civilizations in our galaxy. So I'm not a mathematician. To say that is a huge understatement, but I'm going to try to knock it out here. So these 7 factors basically are, first, they're starting broad, like what are the odds of this, and if the odds of that are happening, then what are the odds of this happening? And so it really just moves down the list of more specificity. But it starts with the rate of star formation. That's the first factor. What is the rate of star formation in the Milky Way? And that's the only one we know with any accuracy. And we know that it's about 7 stars per year are formed. Next is the fraction of those stars which have a planetary system, which again is tough to say, but there's a range of about 20 to 60%, though it could be much higher. The next part of the equation is what is the average number of those planets that are able to support life? Again, very hard to say how likely that is, especially if you believe in the
Sindri, I
rare
can't
earth
find the
statistic,
ask
which states that the occurrence of life is just
that I
extraordinarily
sent
unlikely.
you
That
about
being a
everyone's
rare earth
designs.
hypothesis takes no account for alternative biology, but still, Drake himself in the equation used a value of 2 for this factor,
Can you
but
find
it could
it?
be much lower than that. And next we have, what is the fraction of those Earth-like
Or
planets
maybe
where life
resend
actually
it?
appears? So yeah, if other life-supporting
I
planets
can't
exist,
find
would
the
they
lore
actually
one
actually have
either.
life on it? Some smart people, scientists, have suggested that life is inevitable if a planet is able to support it. You know, who
I
knows?
want
But
to
if the
draw a
idea of
kitten.
panspermia is true, then the likelihood of those
Almost
habitable
getting
planets actually
chopped
having life is much higher. And
because
we'll
he
talk more
decided to crawl
in
into the
further
yawning
of that.
mouth of Blue
Next we
Moon.
have, what are the fraction of those life-bearing planets that have intelligent life? This is completely unknown, but again, many smart people believe that intelligent life is inevitable given enough time. However, it's also likely that most life would go extinct before reaching intelligence, so that's another thing to throw in there. And this, of course, does not account for that. Next, what is the fraction of those intelligent species that are also able to communicate at an interstellar level, which is much harder than you would think? There's just no way to know how likely that is. And so,
Alright, I've
since the
sent a
species could be
pleading
wiped
ask.
out early, or perhaps they just have no desire to develop technology, the idea of an alien civilization having the ability to communicate but not wanting to develop technology to do so is kind of interesting. In All Tomorrows, you have space spacers who did not want to take part in communications outside their planet because they were afraid it would invite an alien attack. And then in Man After Man, you have the memory people who could remember the fact that humans once developed technology and had nothing to do with it because of the disaster that it brought upon them. So that's kind of interesting, making the connection there. Anyways, but what if they developed a more efficient method of communication that we just couldn't pick up on? So there's, you just don't know. And then finally, you have the time span in which a civilization is around and able to communicate.
Favorite pose
Again,
right
some
here.
scientists estimate that the average lifespan of a species is between 2 and 4 million years. And that would be just a small blip for a more advanced civilization. Now you need to solve for n, and so using these estimates, how many likely civilizations are there in our galaxy, or just anywhere, I guess, really? I don't know, but it's probably between 1,000 and 100 million, so not a huge range there. It's possible that there are no other civilizations, and maybe there are, but we just can't communicate, or maybe they don't want to talk to us, and that is what's known as
Hey. Leave it alone. Oh my goodness, I found it. Don't worry about that one ask. Designs. I found it. Fuck yeah. I did it. Right. Oh, there's dirt on that thing. I found a reference. We may do kitten. It's the one I really wanted to do today. found after hunting for like ever. Oh my god. So happy.
Hi, Rick.
Hi.
Well, it is definitely not as hot out here. I don't know if you can tell the difference.
I'm streaming, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I thought I'm doing anything right now.
You should have a sign you put up.
I don't think I have anyone watching the stream, but it's here.
Yeah.
Well, now let me check YouTube. I don't really have a way to check who's here. One watching, which is me right now. Okay. Yeah, no one's watching. I'm too early of a riser. Yeah, nothing like waking up at 8 a.m. because your cat decided I'm gonna eat your goddamn face.
You know. What are you doing?
We don't know. Zero's doing a zero.
How is it biting at my face? It's weird.
Love biting.
Very weird.
Give them the nose. And now that I have a reference, I can actually know what I'm fucking doing. Kitten, they got like a bow. And that nose. Give a face of awe. My feet do get to a face of awe. Oh my god. Perfect. That works a little too well. Fucking giant eyes. Alright, that feels a little bit more natural. Still got a hoodie. It's just like pink, and I don't have colors right now, so we're not doing a pink hoodie. We're just doing a hoodie. I love my hoodies. They all look the goddamn same. This is definitely an exaggeration, but it's goddamn funny. I mean, what? Like, if I were going to look at like my reference, um, of like, do I have it downloaded? Because a picture.
Hey, Bertrand, you've been doing stuff for a little while.
Yeah.
I think you could let this out outside. I
Oh.
think that's why he's been air biting at me.
That's the one.
Hey, okay.
No, it's actually not that terrible of a reference. His
Yeah.
torso might fit inside Blue Moon's mouth. It works. It works. It's just a little bit of it.
Okay, go tell Brooke.
Apparently, I have to go let our dogs outside. Can I finish drawing this glowing person? Night night.
Yes, just for finish it. Tell 0.
0. You need to go outside. Yeah. Yeah, let me finish drawing kitten. Let me finish drawing kitten. Is that something I can do? I know. We need the butt rubbies. Yep. 'Cause that's the type of dog you are. He needs the butt rubbies. He's a good boy. Just taper it out like right there. And just get some greasy lines on it. There we go. Genius. You silly 0. 0's a silly puppy. Yeah. Got rings on his clothing. Eclipsey, why are you clawing my ass? I'm going to erase this top part here. Sort of. I like to keep shoulders. Stripes. With a lovely coat. That's where the bagginess comes in. It looks like you get a baggy jacket. A baggy jacket. More rings. Look like he has any rings on like his gotta get rid of my joint that I use. Let's give him a baggy shirt too, actually. I don't know, looks like he's wearing a freaking. I don't know how to do this. Yeah, works. Yeah. Sure. You know, we're gonna put stripes on the bottom of this. Just to hide that inconvenience, cause yeah, I don't know what I'm doing there. We're going to pretend he has pants on, cause that does not help. Maybe it's just cause it's too wavy? What is going on? Give him a pant belt right there. That way it looks like he's wearing pants. Oh, I unbuttoned my hair. They died. Anyways, time for bows, because he has 2 bows. Yes, he has like a bow around his neck. You're gonna need some room for it. Just do that with that. That works well. And then he has a bow on the top of his head, which I'm going to make look like cat ears. That looks like rabbit ears. Meh, we can do this. There's a bow on his head. I don't know how to draw bows. It's been a very long time since I've drawn anything like a bow. I don't even know how that's attached to his head. How do I draw a fucking bow? That's better? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's just... It's like a tongue or feather. How the hell do I draw a bow? What the fuck? Like, I can draw a bow from, like, the front, near the bow. And, you know, side profile bow, you get something like that. But this bow is luxurious. It needs to be bowy. That? No. No. I want to put some sort of, like, alertness into the bow. Looks like a fucking Egyptian. Struggling with this way more than I thought I would. It's a bow! Why can't I do this? We're going with that. We're going with that. I can't draw bows apparently. There's a bow. Perfect. It definitely looks like a bow. God, that looks awful. Anyways, blue moon's ribbons need to be added. Which we're just gonna do something goddamn simple. And get that luxurious girl. There we go. I gotta finish up soon. I know. Velocities. And then we'll just add the shadow of the other arm. Sort of there in the background. Yep, that looks pretty good. Get the grid off. Where's the grid? Which layer the grid's on? There we go. Get my handy dandy Nothing. Where'd my menu go? Where'd my menu go? Oh, there you go. Take this, put it up in the corner. Might just be time to do that thing. There we go. Back on the layer at hand, do the magic wand. Select everything inside. Disable this, do that. Make sure nothing else is crossed. Alright.
First,
Yeah.
I looked at John's notes and stuff, but we got a couple problems.
What?
Solar just ran out in the back, and there's pee on the floor that I just stepped in. It's by the litter box.
Oh! Okay, hold on. I'll end the stream. Bye-bye. Got problems.